What is going on, homies? It's your boy StumpD back for another OPTC video, and in today's video we're over here on the Japanese side of the game, taking a look at the new Super First Yamato, as well as Page 1 and Ulti against Doflamingo Heavily Demon 2. So that was the team, those were the supports. Let's dive in. Now, something to note before we actually start this particular piece of content is, this particular team has so much damage. Like, it has so much goddamn damage that I don't even think any of the supports are actually necessary, and you will be actually fine with just all stat boosters if need be. Law is definitely not essential. I don't use him at all in this particular run. And the support of Kid as well as Shiki to get the attack boost and the color affinity on the final stage really doesn't matter too much, because, like, you guys will see when we get there. But, like, this particular team, even without a, like, proper designated attack booster, can actually do so damn much. Like, so much damn damage that's not even funny. Namely because once we get to the final stage, there is no full immunity, and there is, the enemy has over 10 million HP. So, I really wanted to showcase both Ulti and Page 1 as well as Yamato in the same team, and Dofi 2 just seemed to be the place to actually do that. Shout out to the guys on stream that were helping me put together this particular team, as I was on stream today to actually get this done. So as you guys can see here, on the first two stages, we are basically just switching with our Ulti Page 1. Ideally, you want to get their super switch to around like 3 switches, and that way we can move on to the next stage against Monet. Now on stage 3 against Monet, she normally binds our crewmates, as well as only allowing us to use 1 special and having a 2 perfect barrier. But with Yamato as our captain, she can actually remove 10 turns of blind, which is really, really handy on this particular stage, as we don't really need to worry about that blind and stalling it, like stalling that extra turn. We are going to switch with Vivi, Rebecca, and Page 1 Ulti, so that way we can actually start building up the super switch and get the chain lock, and then we can move on to the next stage against Virgo. Now against Virgo, he's going to do like a 90% HP cut, as well as blow away our positive effects and reduce our healing drastically. He doesn't let it just lose attack boost on this particular stage, and also has 2 turns of defense up as well as a extra HP barrier. So ideally on this stage, you actually want to switch into your strength units, but I would switch with Ulti Page 1 first, so that way you get the chain lock to start at 1.6 instead of starting at 2.5. That way your strength units will actually hit a little bit harder. Now the only support that I would like recommend running for this particular fight is that Kyros support. Now as you can see here, with the Kyros support and a matching orb on Vivi Rebecca, we can do so much damn damage. I don't know if it is essential, however, but it may be. Something that is essential, however, is actually Poison Sockets. So on this particular stage against Caesar Clown, we actually need Poison Sockets to avoid all that poison damage. Caesar is going to give us a full board of block orbs. He gives us 1 turn of paralysis as well as special blind. So we can remove that with our time skip Nami special. Time skip Nami is an absolute god for this particular piece of content. And if you guys have bath time carrot, you can easily slap that support of bath time carrot on Nami. And that way you should be able to just like do this a little bit quicker. You probably still need Poison Sockets, however, but you will be able to sort of get through this particular fight a little bit easier, as you can just hit your perfects and remove the 2 turns of defense up with that carrot support. We do want to take the 3 turns on Caesar Clown here though, namely so we can actually get our Vivi Rebecca special back. Now if you don't have Vivi Rebecca limit break keyed like myself, over here on the Japanese side of the game, you are going to need to take the 3 turns, but if you do have them keyed, you can actually take 2, but I would recommend like taking away 1 turn of stalling a little bit later down the track. So on the next stage, we come up against PeaChill. Now, PeaChill has 2 turns of defense up, and he is a dex unit that gives us chain coefficient reduction. We are going to switch with our units once again, and that way we can actually get our color affinity, and we can remove the defense up and get an orb boost with our Don Krieg and Jin. Don Krieg and Jin can remove the defense up, give us an orb boost, and then with that chain lock, we can actually do quite a bit of damage to PeaChill. Now, we do want to actually take 2 turns on PeaChill here, as we really want to get that Vivi Rebecca special back. Very, very important that we actually do so. On the second turn, we're actually going to use the super switch of Page 1 Ulti. That's going to start the chain multiplier at 2.5, going up to 35 times. And then we can use our friend Captain Yamato Special to actually get the chain buff mechanic. We can actually get some Wano orbs here as well. And ideally, you want to try and get a Wano orb on Nami and Page 1 Ulti. It's pretty much inevitable that you will get it on Page 1 Ulti, but if you get lucky, you'll get it on your time skip Nami too. Finally, we're going to lock those orbs with the Magello ship special, and that way we can actually keep some of those yummy Wano orbs. When we move on to the next stage, however, we come up against Treble and Sugar. Now, against Treble and Sugar, they're going to slot blind our left-hand side, as well as give us a full board of dex slots, 1 turn of paralysis, and actually make dex orbs unfavorable. The beautiful thing about using Vivi Rebecca for this particular fight, as they are pretty much built for Dofi 2, is we can actually turn all of those Dex Orbs into matching orbs for our Cerebrals and our Striker characters. We can then use the super typing of our friend Captain Yamato. We can lock those orbs in, and then we can focus on taking out Sugar. Now, ideally on this particular stage, we really want to take out Sugar on the first turn and do a bunch of damage to Treble as well. And then on the second turn, we actually want to take out Treble. Just be careful how much damage you do with your ulti. If you do over 50% HP against Treble, he will basically just slot blind you, and you're just in for a really, really, really bad time. On the second turn, he's going to give us Dex Orbs once again. We can then switch with our units once again, get those matching orbs, and we can take out Treble on the next turn. Alright, so once we take out Treble, we can move on to Stage 8. Now, against Stage 8, we come up against Mark Vice, Gladius, and Senior Pink. Now, the downside to this particular fight is we are still missing a cooldown on our Vivi Rebecca. But if you do have them Limit Break keyed, you will actually have their special ready to go on this particular stage. However, we are running double Yamato here, and we do have a bunch of Wano Orbs. And if you have, like, a Wano Orb on your Time Skip Nami or on your Yamato herself, you can actually output a lot of damage, even though the enemy has 5 turns of damage reduction. As you can see here with our int units, we can actually output so much damage on Senior Pink. And like I said, if you have 2 Wano Orbs on your int units, you should, like, most likely kill Senior Pink pretty easily. Because we don't kill Mark Vice in the first turn, he actually gives us the Orb Lock mechanic and gives us Block Orbs on our bottom 2 units. So that's why if you can actually get Wano Orbs there, it works really, really nicely because he can't actually rotate them anyway. So page 1 ulti are just going to be guaranteed to have that Wano Orb no matter what with their switch ability. And if you can get lucky, you can actually get one on Time Skip Nami as well. We are going to finally remove the damage reduction on this second turn with the Vivi Rebecca special. We're going to take out Mark Vice, and then we're just going to sort of take our time on our boy Gladius here. Once Gladius, like, has an interrupt with the text, he actually says something like, "I'll blow you away," or something like that. That's when we're actually going to move on. You don't need to stall too much here, but ideally, you just want to get your Yamato special, your friend Captain Yamato special, down to a 4-turn cooldown, and then you can actually kill Gladius and move on. I actually overstall a little bit here, but like I said, as soon as you hit this like 4th turn, like right here, you can actually kill Gladius easy peasy, and that way you can actually move on to the second last stage against Diamante. Just be careful on this stage if you are sort of stalling a little bit. With Gladius's HP pool, as you can see, where his like little ear or his little like sound pocket is, if you actually get him below that particular part of his body, he'll actually give you like 50 turns of paralysis and a whole bunch of nasty effects, and it basically will just spell the end of your run. Basically, with the switch abilities of Ulti page 1 as well as Vivi Rebecca, we can actually take out our boy Gladius pretty easily. We do have 2 characters have color affinity. Unfortunately, Vivi Rebecca, or Vivi from Vivi Rebecca, isn't boosted under Yamato, but the Rebecca and the dual variation actually is, as they're strikers. So you want to make use of page 1 being a Dex unit, and having a Wano Orb there to actually take out Gladius easy peasy. Once we hit stage 9, we come up against Diamante, who is a strength unit. He has end of turn damage, gives us 5 turns of special blind, but we can easily remove that with Time Skip Nami. Ideally, you want to come into this stage with like over 4,000 HP, so that's why like stalling on Gladius can be a little bit tricky depending on your HP pool. We're going to remove the special blind with our Nami special. We can then use the super switch of our ulti page 1 to give ourselves the quick variation of ulti in page 1, as well as switch into Don Krieg and Jin, and then we can actually take out Diamante. Now, if you want to, you can easily use your Yamato special here. With the law support, you can easily take out Diamante as well, but as you can see, literally just with the switch ability and 2 quick units, it does the trick. You have enough damage, Bob's your uncle, and you're good to go. On the final stage, though, against the 2 Doflamingos, they are Dex units. They don't have full immunity, like I said, but they do have 2 turns of defense up and give us a full board of block orbs. With our supports, we can get color affinity and an attack buff, but like I said, you do so much damage on this stage that you don't actually need it. We can remove the defense up and get an orb boost with our Don Krieg and Jin unit. We can get the new conditional buff, thanks to page 1 and ulti, that states that if the enemy has over 10 million HP, they actually apply the super boss debuff buff situation. It's very similar to like the double damage or that Kaido can, like you kind of see it come up, and it's very similar to the buff the enemy has when they're basically just going to kill you. When you know you have to kill them, otherwise they are literally going to kill you next turn. The beautiful thing about page 1 and ulti is if the enemy has that debuff, they actually give you a 2.25 times conditional boost, which is just absolutely monstrous. It's actually absurd. Like, so even without an attack booster, like, this teammate really doesn't struggle that much because it has all these new mechanics and all these new debuffs and buffs to actually allow us to get a lot of extra damage output. Finally, we're going to finish it off with the Yamato Special. That's going to rotate all of our block orbs into 1-0 slots, as well as give us 1.75 extra damage to the enemy. With that, we have so many different buffs under the sun that it's literally not even funny. We have a small attack boost, a small color affinity boost, a nice 2 times orb boost, as well as 1.75 times damage and a 2.25 conditional boost. We also have a chain buff, as well as starting the chain lock at 1.6 times, as well as getting that chain multiplier buff with the super typing of Yamato. And if you have a look at like all of our buffs and debuffs, like we're starting at a 3.64 chain multiplier and going upwards. And as you can see, like we don't, like, I hit goods and it's just absolutely wild. We also have the last type of Yamato to like just obliterate that final stage. So this team just does so damn well. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you did, make sure to go down there and belt the like button for me if you're new to the channel too. Hit that big red subscribe button. But guys, wherever you are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, I thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later!